The Tonis Ultimate Forces Challenge is about strength, stamina, willpower, but it's also about dealing with the unknown. Just seconds before the competition start, each athlete is given their rules and regulation. They then have to deal with new team ideas, new tactics, and in this case, a rope.
In this next challenge, each team must first work up a sweat by running through the Balinese jungle.
We had to get there in 5.5 minutes.
You couldn't run slowly, because if you get there and the time's out, the time's out.
We did no full-out run, a jog, but it's UFC, you gotta go hard. You know, there's no light exercise here.
And then you had to hold a weight.
A daunting 200 kilograms attached to the end of a rope.
You must lift it together as a team, and then every 45 seconds you've got to drop a player.
Until only 3 members are left. It's on them to use balance and brute force to keep the weight off the ground. Oh, one more thing. The team that finishes last in this event will be eliminated.
A slap with a reality stick. If at any point you falter or fail, you will be eliminated. You will be sent home. And I know for a fact I don't want to go back to my country with my tail between my legs and say I let you down.
So there's a whole lot at stake in this next challenge. The order in which the teams finish the swim and beach run has determined their starting order. The first matchup is between the two Southern Hemisphere powerhouses, South Africa and Australia.
There's a bit of nerves, but we are confident in our ability. But we're excited to be here. There's some butterflies in the stomach.
Attention! 3, 2, 1, go!
And they're off. Team South Africa sprint out in front. It's a well-trained team consisting of all-round athletes. The South Africans are noticeably younger than their opponents from Australia. Youth could be an advantage, or will experience prevail?
Some of the other teams are bigger and stronger across the board and perhaps younger. Most of us are over 40, so we're quite a mature team, but we've got a lot of multi-disciplines and we're all very cohesive as a team. We all want to work together, we all talk about it, strategise, and we think our key will be our experience and just working together as a team.
But on the other hand, the South Africans know their youth is the advantage. To move on in this challenge, speed and agility will be their key tactic.
I mean, in 5 minutes, you're trying to work a strategy out. We're going to do this, do this, do this. We were going through this jungle, fast and hard.
But going fast and hard with temperatures exceeding 35 degrees Celsius, this can be devastating, even lethal. Saving some energy for the last part could be a wise decision, something the team finds out only after a few minutes of the race.
It was hot, we were sweating like crazy. We demolished, we absolutely demolished.
However, Team South Africa reached the weight within the 5.5 minutes permitted. And of course, they're not the only team struggling in the fierce jungle heat.
We flew out of -5 temperature, so it's winter back home, and you know, water buckets outside are frozen over. The kids are sending me photos of the water buckets outside, iced up. Yeah, flying to Bali, strip off. It's great.
What's also great is that Team Australia just make the cut-off time. Now they must move quickly to lift the weight. South Africa had a short breather, but will that advantage pay off? Every 30 seconds, one member must let go of the rope, increasing the weight for the remaining athletes. After 1.5 minutes, it's up to the remaining 3 members to finish the job. Strength is important, but so is strategy.
So I'm still in there and I'm rapping and the rope's slipping and the arms are ripping and we're all in the wrong positions.
The Australians make the decision to place their strongman up front instead of anchoring the rope at the back. It's unorthodox. Will it help or be a huge tactical mistake?
Often the rope around my waist, the big 80 kilos that I earn compared to the South Africans, they were quite a bit bigger.
In that case, it seems wise to let the lightest people let go of the rope first. It's all part of the tactical plan.
And then it was my turn to get off, thank Christ. We're off. Yeah, so the boys held it up for another 40 seconds, I guess. And then we had to watch monsters over here hold it and hold it and hold it. And you can hear South Africa. I mean, they were getting into it. They were yelling at each other. Team Australia was just a bit too polite for that exercise. We didn't rev up enough.
No one is letting go. Come on.
On a mental part too, we just challenged ourselves. We absolutely drove each other and we got ourselves there.
Come on, hold it, guys, come. You want this? Hold it, boy, just stay there.
I think it's in our nature. We drive each other. It's a CrossFit thing.
Something to do while you're doing
You think 200 kilograms isn't a lot of weight, but after 3 or 4 minutes, it gets heavy. It gets very heavy. And you don't know what time the other teams did. And that in itself is a challenge. You can't hold it for 5 minutes because the other team did 4:59. And that's what we like. You hold it until you physically cannot hold it anymore.
You guys want this? We've been sitting all day. Come, hold it there.
I'm holding as tight as a motherfucker.
Hold it up. Come, bring it on.
Come on, pull it back.
Your mind is telling you, let go. You're shouting at your body saying, don't let go, hold on.
An incredible 12 minutes later, Team South Africa are still holding on. But to the relief of the Australians, the end seems to be near.
Nice, guys. Nice. Good job.
Okay, we finished the warm-up. Bring the real stuff.
Next up, Team USA take on Team Belgium. They look like well-trained athletes, but have they ever competed in an extreme contest, anything like the UFC?
We kind of thought the only advantage that we have is that we're quite, up in the mountains, high elevation. We thought coming down to sea level, oh yeah, our lungs are going to open up. We're going to be able to breathe, and we got this, no problem. And what a difference! It's environment is huge. It takes a bit to get acclimatized to it. So we're sweating. We weren't even doing anything, and just gross. It was. You get used to it quick, and you get comfortable with just being sweaty all day.
Both teams have found their pace, but while Team America quietly make their way through the jungle, Team Belgium are busy strategizing.
We had a tactic, we had to come there with whole the group. I yelled to the others, come on, is everybody here? Is Belgium still on the way here?
Both teams arrive on time, but along the way, the Belgians have come up with an extraordinary strategy that could make the difference between winning and packing your bags to go home.
Because I'm a fireman, I had to stand back and I made a knot in the rope. And I hold it like it was for my life, for my group, for Belgium. So it was a great feeling.
The Americans have their own bizarre approach.
I pulled down, and I wasn't doing much strength. I couldn't do it just like this, so I jumped up on the rope, and I just reefed it down, and I wrapped my legs around the pole and was just kind of hanging like a monkey, basically, and used all my 130 pounds of weight just to sort of help with that. So effective for sure. Our boys got a break there, and so it was good.
I'm like, wow, that's really working. It felt like a lot easier on my end, so super excited. But then I didn't realize that Chris was taking up all that extra oomph right there. He probably was holding Stephanie up in the air as well.
I thought it was brilliant. I won't brag. I thought it was good because where I was positionally, I couldn't have done any better.
You can do what she did.
Go guys, pop up if you can.
While Team USA stick with their monkey tactics, it seems to only make things harder. Meanwhile, Team Belgium stands steady as a rock, at least for now.
Still have 30 minutes to go, eh?
Just seconds after Team Belgium are reduced to 3, Team USA also lose its last athlete. Will Kyle, Rodney and Chris continue their strategy or resort to brute force?
We looked to the other team and we saw they are hanging close to the ground and we get extra power.
The hanging tactic is clearly backfiring. And when Carl tries to reposition himself, the rope slackens and the weight briefly touches the ground. This means only one thing. Challenge over.
Dedication! Friendship!
In the end, it's just power. Just power, though, so it's putting it on and go till the end. Yeah, we were all looking, eyes open, focus. Dedication, that was it. So that's Belgium.
The Belgians, still using their fireman technique, continue to impressively hang on.
Go away! Go away! Finish!
Great feeling. We hold it for a few minutes more, and that was yeah, good. We thought we can do something in these games. This will be it. So we are in the competition. So good.
Pulling exercise was okay. I think we could have done a little bit better maybe with our guys' technique, pulling back a little bit different, but it was hard to gauge. We really didn't have the mindset to have technique and planning when we went into it. We sort of just went into it blind and just take it as it comes.
Friendship, education,
Team Canada are up next. With 7 teams in the competition, 1 has to go solo. In this case, Canada drew the short end of the straw.
Everyone in Team Canada is pretty relaxed and easygoing, but as soon as we come to competition, that's when we really switch on, you know, that competitive nature.
1, 2, 3, True North Strong! Attention! 3, 2, 1, go!
Without a direct competitor, they will rely on their watches and self-motivation to get them through this stage.
We were the first team to go by ourselves. Advantage and a disadvantage because we're not competing against any team on the trails. When you are competing against another team, you really push yourself because you want to beat the other team, right? So it gives you that extra bit of motivation.
Canada isn't particularly known for its extreme temperatures, and within minutes, the heat fragments the team into 3.
I sweat just standing out in this weather. The humidity and the heat, while doing physical competition, makes it way more difficult.
The last athlete reaches the weight with only seconds to spare, leaving little time to discuss strategy.
We knew we wanted the 3 guys at the back. We're all the heavier, stronger guys. While we were holding on to it, we tried to have the girls do most of the pulling for the first couple minutes so that the guys would be rested for the back. We made the mistake of, I guess, not using our anchor, so Brooke, of not like wrapping the rope around his back. Instead, he just held on to it.
Hey, you got release?
Carson is the first athlete to release the rope. 2 more to go. Meanwhile, 2 teams from the Netherlands are back at the beach, waiting for their competition to officially begin.
It will be awesome today, definitely. I think today the best Dutch team will win.
3, 2, 1, go! Go, 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 go! Go on! Go on!
We knew it was a big weight. We're not the biggest, so we're really light. So we had to discuss a tactic.
As the Dutch talk tactics on the run, Team Canada's 3rd and final member let go of the rope.
You really noticed it when that last female let go, and then it was just the 3 guys.
Okay, pull back!
Even without an anchor, Team Canada managed to hold up the weight. But it's not a tactic for long-term success.
We're in!
When we finished, we thought we had a pretty competitive time. We thought we would have done well because of our size, but I think just the technique of having the anchor hurt us in the end.
Soon the Dutch arrive on the scene ahead of schedule. But while Team Orange take a quick rest, Team Blue immediately start pulling.
We had a tactic, and it was changing the angle of the rope, so it was less heavy.
Caught up in the passion of the moment, Team Blue anchorman Luke makes the day's strangest tactical decision, leaving his post to help his team up front. Oh dear.
He came in front because he wanted to try in the right angle. Well, it didn't work.
Keep it up, keep it up.
Come on! Hang your weight! Go to the back, go to the back, go to the back!
Without an anchor, Luke and teammate Jeroen are shouldering all the weight themselves. A recipe for disaster.
When the wave touched the ground, I knew it's not good. Well, we saw the other Dutch team, and they did it very well. And that's the moment we thought, OK, it's not going to be good for us.
The blue team are clearly disappointed, but all they can do now is wait and hear if their performance is enough to keep them in the competition.
We have survivors climbing in ropes, so we know the tactics. If you're sweaty, the ropes were slippery, so we just grab sand.
Team Orange win the Dutch derby and are now safe from elimination. But can the same be said for Holland's blue team? The first leg of the Photonis Ultimate Forces Challenge is now officially over. The teams don't know each other's times, so the tension is high.
You know, before you get your results, you start thinking, Canada has got such strong athletes on. USA had such strong athletes on. The Belgium have got phenomenal athletes on. So you start questioning yourself, yes, they could have done this, they could have done this. You're hesitant, you're doubtful.
Exhausted, anxious, the teams gather, absolutely desperate not to be the first team sent home.
Third place, Belgium.
It was a great feeling in the top three, like small Belgium, top three against the world. Big Canada, big USA, big Australia. It's great.
Second place goes to Team Orange from the Netherlands. And the winner is South Africa.
We smashed it. We absolutely smashed it.
And looking at the times, it wasn't even close. South Africa's monster time of 12 minutes make them the leg's first clear winner and the team to beat.
They definitely knocked it out of the park in my mind. They just by holding the weight properly, better body mechanics, and also they're super strong.
It's good to win. It's always good to win.
Team South Africa are on top spot, which means they are safe. For now. The blue team from the Netherlands are in last position, which means they are our first team to exit the competition.
The other team